Hi there, Julie Gray here. And today I want to talk to you about two different ways that we go about getting things done. One way is very visible to us and we're very familiar with. The other way is something that is invisible and wildly underutilized in our culture. So the first way that we go about getting things done is we do via thought. So we think hard about what we need to do. We make lists, we strategize, we make plans. All of this is good, except when we take it to the extreme and we overwhelm ourselves or we stress ourselves out. And we can actually put ourselves in paralysis. We can start procrastinating. And what we know to do is to think harder about the thing, right? We think, oh, if I can just find the right thinking, if I can just figure this out, then I will do, then I will get something done. It doesn't really work that way. So let's look at the other direction. Let's look at this other way that we already know how to get things done. We just don't utilize it because it's invisible. And that is what I call action through insight. So think about the fact that there are hundreds of things, if not thousands of things, that you're doing every day that you aren't thinking about, that maybe never made it to a list. They're so automatic, they're habitual, or they're just extremely obvious that you need to do them. In a way, you could say that this is guidance that's arising from within you. It's just the obvious thing to do. You're not thinking your way to it. You're not thinking hard about it. It's just what needs to get done. And because this is so seamless, because this is so integrated, it's just invisible. We don't even see that this is another way that we're already moving life forward. It's invisible. So what happens is in this work, in my work, we try to make that visible. Because when you can start to see your capacity for insight, you get to leverage that all over the place to move life forward without weighing yourself down by thinking so hard about everything. So, how do you do this? How do you look for insight? So, here's what's so cool. You already know how to do this. It's just, again, been invisible. What you can start to see is that when you're caught up in thought, you're going to have a lot of feelings, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, maybe a lot of overwhelm. Those are your cues to step back and go, oh, wait, let me just see what might occur to me. Let me just see what might arise up in me as the next thing for me to do. It might be to go take a walk. It might be to work on the next thing on my list. It might be to call a friend. Who knows? We don't know. It's going to arise up in you. This is the power and the capacity that we all have for insight. And when we start to utilize this, when we get to leverage this power so much more in our day-to-day lives, we don't have to wait for these big magical aha moments and epiphanies and realizations. Those are great. Those are wonderful. But it's also so useful to see that these are happening on a day-to-day ordinary level all the time. And when something arises within you, it brings with it momentum, motivation, discipline, focus, right? When you're thinking yourself into something, you need to also add to that accountability and discipline and motivation. And oh, you've got so much to manage. Look in the direction of insight. See how you're already in action via insight. Start to make what's invisible visible. And let me know how it goes. Take care until next time.